this if you will. It's the late 1970s. You need a new car. You need 4 doors, you want it to be well appointed, and you want it to be fun. Now, the general consensus here would have been to buy a Ford. But what if you were looking for something a little bit more unusual, a little bit left field, but decently reliable? Well, let me introduce you to what I think is a criminally underrated car. Hello and welcome to the Triumph Dolomite. Today we're going to review it, have a little bit of a look around it, and then take it out on the road. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I think this is a good car and why I think it's about to come into its own. Now see, as much as the general consensus is that British Leyland only ever went on strike and built cars very poorly, they were actually very innovative automakers, and the Dolomite brought forward a lot of industry firsts and a lot of automotive innovations. The Dolomite, produced from 1972 until 1980, was a nice quality successor to the Triumph Toledo. It had a few different engine changes throughout its time and model designations, but everyone knows and remembers the Dolomite Sprint. But I think the one behind me is a better bet. Yes, it's this all-important badge here that I think makes all the difference with this Dolomite. What is 1850 HL and why do I think it's so important? Well, it comes down to a couple of things. The 1850, that's fairly self-explanatory. It relates to the beating heart of the Dolomite, the 1854cc slant 4 engine. However, the HL, or high level, designates the trim model, and that means this is a rather well-appointed car indeed. The HL brought forward some lovely high-level amenities for the Dolomite buyer, including some delightfully plush reclining seats, which look the part in this very period brown, as well as an individual clock and rev counter, and a few other touches here and there. It's comfortable, it's well laid out, and the fit and finish is very good. Certainly, I know people like to talk down about the build quality of British Leyland cars, but in my time with the Dolomite, I've had no complaints. A glance behind the hinged bonnet shows the beating heart of the 1850 HL. As it sort of says on the tin, this is an 1854cc unit, a slant 4 to be specific, and one that saw immense funding from Saab. This helped develop a very, very good engine indeed, and one that was reported to be good for 91 brake horsepower. It's a quick thing. It's obviously not as fast as a 16-valve Sprint unit, but it's enough to get you down the road in good standing. Getting behind the wheel of the Dolomite, I can really see why this model was considered a serious BMW rival. It's incredibly comfortable with these HL specs reclining seats. The ride is sublime, and the 1850 Slant 4, it's actually a lot quicker than I anticipated. Certainly the Sprint is a faster car, but on the whole, this engine can deliver a lot of fun and rather quickly. I think British Leyland gets a lot of stick, especially in this era of car. But in all fairness, they've done a good job with this Dolomite. Engine is mated to a 4-speed manual box with overdrive in here. It's a nice box. It's not the best. The throws are quite long, but it's more than serviceable. I came into this thinking it might be a little bit on the bland side, a very wet car to drive, shall we say. But it's actually good fun. I'm having a lovely time with the Dolomite. It's a lot more dynamic and enjoyable and engaging than I expected it to be. I'll be honest, the brakes aren't the best. They're just about serviceable on this, but I wouldn't want to push them too hard. I can't get over how comfortable it is in here. These seats are excellent. I feel like I've just been swallowed up. I'm sitting at modern speeds. I'm doing about 60 very, very comfortably. It's at a nice point in the rev range. This is a car you could very, very comfortably use every day, and it would be more than capable of holding its own against modern traffic. At lower speeds, steering does feel a little bit lighter, but I can't say I'm complaining about that too much. There is a little bit of a vagueness to it, but at the end of the day, this is a car from 1980. We can't expect it to be particularly sharp. It's a bit of a radical statement, but I'd very happily have this over a Dolomite Sprint. I've driven both, and obviously the Sprint is quicker. There's no getting away from that. But this just feels a little bit more refined, a little bit more usable. I'm very, very much falling for this little Dolomite. So, having spent some time with the Dolomite 1850, do I still stick by my notion that it's an underrated and underappreciated car? Absolutely. If anything, I think that even more now. It's such a lovely car to look at, especially in this very, very period brown on brown on brown on brown colour scheme. It's a lovely looking thing, it's fun to drive, and it's very, very comfortable inside. It's a very livable and usable classic, and I think it's one that I hope will become more and more appreciated as time goes on. We're starting to see a few more of these appear at classic shows and in the restoration scene, and I think it's long overdue. Good quality examples like this are few and far between at the moment, and that's definitely something that needs to be changed. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And remember, if you do have a classic car to sell yourself, get in touch at classiccarbuyer.co.uk. We'd love to chat and we'd love to help out. Thank you.